Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency the President of the Republic, to former President, to all the kings and chiefs from the broad spectrum of our world, to all our distinguished guests, to the Acting Chief of the South African National Defence Force, Lieutenant General Yam, and members of the Military Command Council, to our ministers in their respective levels of leadership, starting from the presiding bishop, the SABC president, the local Methodist Church bishop, and also to Dr. Williams. In conclusion, from the Book of Testament, the old one, there are words that say, "He did what was right in the eyes of God." Such was King Zwelonke Mpendulo Sigcawu. When you do right in the eyes of God, God will bless you. God will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. King Zwelonke understood that God wants justice to be like a mighty river that cleanses society of evil and refreshes everything it touches. The king deserves our gratitude, for he understood that in God's economy of things, there are no halfway measures. The sunset of his life is marked by the gracious fruit of discipline and the precious repose that comes from God alone. The king will live on in our hearts and spirits, for the word of God declares, "The memory of the just lives on." Azwelonke, Azwelonke, Azwelonke. He did what was right in the eyes of God. So be it with all of us. God bless you all. And now I am going to give marching orders to the pallbearers and bearers. Brigadier General Mketo, Brigadier General Nompecheni, Brigadier General Kweta, Rear Admiral Junior Grade Kani, Rear Admiral Junior Grade Makanya, Brigadier General Braines, Brigadier General Luke. Bearers, Master Warrant Officer Kuti, Master Warrant Officer Mzichana, Master Warrant Officer Mkhwengkhweng, Master Warrant Officer Jonas, Master Warrant Officer Kunene, Master Warrant Officer Marema, Murema, Master Warrant Officer Jeannie, Master Warrant Officer Alexander, Warrant Officer in charge of bearers, Chief Warrant Officer Beleli. Yes. Thank you.
Gelixesha amajoni asalungisa ukuthabatha umkhumbi mandenze ezizibhengezo ndikhawulezile. Nkosi ungubelizwe sicawu. Ndicela usondele mntwana omhle apha phambi kwami uzowusenzela umsebenzi ongqamene nesiko nesithethe sethu. Okwesibini ke ndicela simamelane zindwendwe zakokwethu ezibekekileyo nenkokheli zethu. Xa kusiwa phaa emadlakeni ndiyafuna ukuyicacisa into okokubana sizawuzicela iinkokheli zorhulumente nenkokheli eziphambili ezikhokhela imibutho okokubana akukho ngxaki nokokubana umntu unxibe ibhlukhwe nemilenze emibini okanye ibhlukhwe nomlenze omnye bavumelekile into yobana bangaya pha ikhona intente engeneno kwedlaka ekhoyo apho bazawuhlala khona babukele. Lo myalezo uquka kubantu abangoomama bekhaya ncakasana into yokubana nabo banelungelo loba baye kulungisiwe de kufitshane nedlaka. Sawusebenza ke ngolo hlobo. Ndifuna ke unika ezizaziso zilandelayo ngokwendlela amaziko abiwe ngayo apha. Abantu abaphethe ii-tags ezibhalwe guest okanye VIP bazawutyela kwintente elapha emva kwam eglass marquee, intente eyenziwe ngencalancala. Okwesibini, ikumkani zonke ezikhoyo nekumkanikazi nazo zawungena kwa kulaa ntente sendiyibalule. Iinkosi zonke zomzi kaXhosa neenkosi ezisindwendeleyo zona siyazicela into okokubana ziye esililini komkhulu. Isilili ke ngulaa mzi mkhulu unezindlu zengca obethelelwe ngezindlu zengca ezingumfuziselo wongquphantsi. Uluntu lwalapha enqadu neelali ezisingqongileyo noluntu olusuka apha eMpuma Koloni oluzowunika intlonipho yalo yokugqibela. Ikhona intente ebekiweyo phanga kulo nkosana uJerry Scawu kwalapha ngasemva. Khumbule nje uba ngakulo nkosana uJerry Scawu kulapho uluntu luyakhona. Bonke ke abanye abantu endingababalulanga apha siyabacela bahlale apha ententeni bazawulungiselelwa kule ntente. Okwesithandathu, all the uniformed forces zona zilungiselelwe kweli holo lilapha eBhoto. All the uniformed forces zilungiselelwe apha kweli holo lilapha eBhoto kufitshane nalaa ntente yencalancala. Ngoku ke masithathe elithuba sinikezele kwenye yengwevu yelikhaya okokubana yenze amazwi kukumkani uzwelonke kuwe mntanekazi.
Azwelonke, azwelonke, azwelonke. Izizukulwane kaGwebinkumbi, sizizukulwane sikaSidawu, kugqityiwe mntanenkosi. Njengoko besitshilo ukuthi xa siphuma kulaa ndlu inkulu yakokwenu siza apha entendeni kuzoqhutywa inkonzo yakho yokugqibela. Siyakuthabatha ke ngoku ukusinga endlini yakho yokugqibela. Usizolele mntana enkosi. Wenze kanye isicelo besisicela. Sithi ususiphathe kakuhle nathi njengoko siqhele ukwenza. Uthethiwe ke ngawe kugqityiwe. Bonke omongameli bathethile nabakuwinu bathethile. Sikhululela ke ngoku kwaba bantu baza kuthatha. Ungabaphazamisi bazolele ukuya emzini wakho wokugqibela. Phaya apho ubusuka khona ekhaya kulu apho ingwephu zakwenu zilele khona. Nawe uyawulala khona ulale ngokuphumla. Uphumle ngoxolo kuba umzimba lo udiniwe utyiwe zinhlungu sikujongile singenakho ukuthathela kuba umuntu umelana nenhlungu zakhe Nkosi.
Siyabulela.
Azwelonke
Sicele umkhosi wenze ngokufanelekileyo nxa kube fundisi ngokungaxelelwa into babayephi. As a chaplain general, I had to make sure abefundisi bazaya kulaa ndawo ye-VIP kulaa glass house. Thank you.
Those are the end of the official procedures of this funeral of His Royal Highness King Zwelonke Sicau. Now the family has handed over the proceedings to the military, who will be taking the body to its final resting place, not far from where we are, right here at the palace. But the colonel from the Defense Force, Colonel Sikonyan, is going to tell us exactly how are they going to go about their proceedings from here. Colonel, now it's been handed to you. Just tell us exactly what's going to happen now.
What is going to happen now? Thank you for this opportunity again. Welcome everybody. We are now taking the body of the king, the bearers, which is Master Warrant Officer Kutsie, Mazichana, Mukhweng, Jonas, Morema, Kunene, Alexandra, and Jeannie. They are from all arms of services, which is the South African Army, the South African Air Force, the South African Navy, and then the South African Military Health Services. Then they are led by Warrant Officer in charge, which is Chief Warrant Officer R.J. Baleli from the Army, as the Army is the leading for any ceremonial within the Defense Force. They are now going to drill in slow march to place the coffin in the gun carriage. Gun carriage comes a long history with it. This is the one of the guns that we use in most of the wars, especially in the Second World War. What is going to happen now, behind them, there are pallbearers. The pallbearers they are the brigadier generals from the 4 arms of services as well. We've got Brigadier General Ndo, Brigadier General Mfeketo, Brigadier General Kweta, Brigadier General Matanda, Brigadier General Kani, Brigadier General Makanya, Brigadier General Luke, and Brigadier General Brainas. These members are now going to walk or drill behind the coffin in a slow march as they're starting to the gun carriage where it loaded. Outside, there is a leading detachment with R1 rifles with a spear on top as they stand guard. These are from the ceremonial group, the army. So in front is the chaplain general, Chaplain Jamangile. He is now leading with a slow march to that gun carriage. They will load the coffin in the gun carriage, and then we will start to walk and slow march from there to meet up with the escort. And then I'm sure by now the escort is starting to line up to prepare for them. Behind the pallbearers is all the family and all the chiefs, all the kings. That whole hierarchy will be there. And behind them then it will be the military detachments, the mourners of the military, which is all other generals and all other military personnel that will also form up behind them.
And so thank you very much, Colonel. According to Xhosa tradition and customs, in a funeral like this, a funeral of the king, women are not supposed to go to the graveside. Only the family, members of the family, who will be accommodated in a tent nearby, and all other females will remain behind while the men are going to see the body as it is lowered down to its final resting place. Are you as a military perhaps obliged to follow those customs and traditions?
What happened is that, as I alluded earlier on, there has been communication between the family and the military. There has been compromises that were made on both sides. The military, the family first of all, allowed us to take over the coffin after they finish all their rituals at home. And then they handed over to us to go to bring the coffin inside the marquee tent. Then the normal church service went through and all the speakers. Then thereafter, again, if you saw the king that was speaking now, the elderly who was handing over the spirit of the king to make him rest and not to be unsettled by the military carrying him. So there was that negotiation spiritually so that he can take over. And then the military took over now. When we arrive at the gravesite, the military was informed that the home is willing to compromise that we can, because we don't come there as female and males, we come there as soldiers. So if we have a section of soldiers that must come and be there, regardless whether they are female or male, they will be able to be there. But we have tried our level best to also honor the culture, because this is a rite of passage for a king. So we don't want to violate the rite of passage. We have tried to make sure and ensure that we keep within the customs and the cultures of the AmaXhosa and put a lot of male dominated. If there's a one or two, we will hide them behind so that at least that funeral is dignified and the ancestors could see that the on top of the grave of a king, men are standing there. So that is why it has no discrimination. It's all done out of respect.
And having said that, your commander-in-chief, who was the main speaker in this funeral, and the mourner-in-chief also, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, what will be his role from here? Does he have any role from here up to the graveside?
The commander-in-chief will be part of the procession. He will be at the back in his vehicle, of course. He will be now, when they reach the corner, the escort will open a guard of honor where the gun carriage, the band, as well as the bearers and the pallbearers and the leading detachment will pass. And as they pass through, the president and all the families and other members will be allowed to go in first. As soon as the president takes position to sit, the chaplain will look and see that they are settled. and then the chaplain will continue, and then by the president being settled, it's a guide for us to continue.
Thank you very much, Colonel. And if you can see there on our screens that the procedure now is about to begin. I can just say that among other dignitaries here were different leaders of political parties. The leader of the UDM, General Mandolo Musa, was here. The leaders of the EFF, Julius Malema, was leading his delegation, which included Darling Mpofu, the chairperson of the party, and the spokesperson, Senate Close. And we also have people from the Land Party, and the president of COSATU was also here, and a number of business people, prominent among them was Patrice Motsepe. Now the procedure is just going just around about 10 to 15 minutes walk to the place where His Royal Highness King Zwelonke Sitau is going to be laid to rest. According to the program that we have here, he is going to be laid to rest at exactly 12 o'clock midday. I hope that maybe we can try to contextualize why during midday, but it does seem that the kings in the tradition of, or in the Xhosa tradition, are not buried afternoon or late early in the evening. That's what's going to happen now, as you can see the chaplain of the military leading the procedure to the king's final resting place. You notice, realize that you have a whole number of other mourners accompanying the coffin. What will happen is that women are not going to pass through or enter the palace where the coffin is going to be laid to rest. It's only going to be men and women who are family members are going to be accommodated, as the master of ceremonies also said, to the nearby marquee. We will be briefing you as these procedures are going on, and are letting you of all the other final details that we think that you need to know. While we're here, I must just say that this is the first of such a funeral in South Africa where the king is buried or is afforded the funeral procedure like this. Is buried the same way as the heads of state are buried. It's a very, very historical moment in South Africa, which is perhaps, for the lack of a better word, a template for other kings that may leave us in future. The military will be knowing exactly what to do, how to do things. So as the government, because all our kings are having different cultures and traditions, so it's not every king who will be buried exactly the same way as His Royal Highness, His Majesty King Sitau is being buried today. So just alert you that this is now the government's position, that all the kings will be afforded the kind of a funeral that is afforded the heads of state. You'll remember that when initially the family asked that he be afforded this kind of funeral, the Deputy Minister of Cooperative Government said that they do not have the rules or policies with regard to funerals like this, because this has never happened in the history of South Africa. It has never happened in the history of our democracy since 1994 that a king who has been generally accepted as such, like King Sitau, that the king, such as King Sitau, has ever passed on. Now, this is the first of its kind. So, as I said, that it might serve as a template for all other funerals of this nature and for all other kings of other ethnic groups and other cultures. The procedure now is about to enter the palace, the Ngadu great place, where all the final details are going to proceed from there. And we will be once more giving you all the details as and when we see them.
Going inside, right? According to the plan of the around. chili zaidi. Hapa tumehambe na ngishoneni. Let's wait for them as they come. Now we need to go that.
As you can see, that they've already entered the palace, the Ngadu great place, where the king is going to be laid to rest. I'm still with the colonel here. Colonel, now you are going to the finer details of what we have been doing here since 5 o'clock this morning. Just tell us more what is going to happen now that they are right there, right next to the grave.
Currently what you see here in front is the leading detachment with their R1s, which is a spear headed on the top, representing guards. They are from the ceremonial group. They are slow marching to the side. They will be on the head on the left hand side of the grave. As you can see that the one who's leading in front, the corporal, is now already made a left turn. They are all going to stand in there and wait on their post. Behind them is the band that is also coming in now, drilling. And if you notice in the band, the one with the drums with the skin there, also representing the drum majority. The one in front is the master warrant officer of the band, and he will now guide the band, the position of the band. And if you notice, as I was about to say, in front of that drum, there's a one female, or I think it's two females that are represented. We put them inside. Fortunately, with their height, they are also short, so they will be there. Not that we are hiding them. It's a new democratic South Africa. Women have got a place in the military, but we respect the royal house. So therefore, we would like to do things understanding their spiritual connection as well. And then now soon, then the pallbearers will come behind the gun carriage. They will have to now. The gun carriage will not enter into the red carpet. It will just behind the chaplain. It will pass. Then the chaplain is mark timing. The step that he's doing is called mark time, so that he can be able to come on halt. The gun carriage will pass a little bit, and then they will take off the bearers will take off the coffin from the gun carriage now, and then they will slow march to the grave itself.
Thank you very much, Colonel. Just to remind you that my colleague is there at the graveside, and he will be briefing us about the details as to what is going to happen now, right there inside. But now, as the Colonel have just told us, they will be taking the coffin, and the military will be marching right into the graveside where King Zwelonke Sitau is going to be laid to his final resting place. It's been a very long day since 5 o'clock. The military doing all these drills together with the family and traditional leaders, and we are about to come to the end of it, but we will be briefing you with all those details together with my colleagues who are inside the palace. We can just watch now the procedures as the military is going to offload that coffin, which they will be taking into that red carpet slowly into the grave, which is not very far from there. You must have seen also in that red carpet that on the left hand side is that other marquee. That's where other dignitaries are going to watch, from where they are going to watch together with the female members of the family as the military will be doing their last rituals. Probably we were told that maybe the family can also do 1 or 2 rituals until the body is laid down.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, man. Sure. I want to get outside. This man you couldn't not show me. I'm going to take messages at it. Will not go. How much time do we got? But I think we can change it quickly. Let's do it quickly now. I'm not it was not my day.
Right.
Madoda ningemi phambi kwami la ndiyasebenza la majoni
I think now maybe
nakuzomele ngiyoma lapha ngizobacela
SABC.
SABC.
Awufike futhi uthi nali nali. Uthathele kaloku mntana ngibeke ngifakele. Hayi makafike yekwa udadewenu ngimxelele into yoba if uthe uzamnika i-2.5 ne-2.4 ngoku makayeke enye into ye-100 rand efondini okanye ndawusuke ndikhankise yonke naloo olright ngamajoni ngamajoni uba awunamandla othwala into makayeke uba ngamajoni aretire.
Siyakubetha futhi.
Oh sorry.
Thanks.
Hello?
Sorry. One, two, three, four, five. One, two,
Attention! Bearers, stop! Bearers, attention! Bearers, outward, done! Bearers, quick, march!
We now call the chiefs of the Xhosas to come and drape the coffin.
Ngikatuza njengenkalankalana nakho namhlungenza kanto ukuthi indaba yenzile azolonke siyakundulula kangoko tholele thuna siyakundulula kangoko ngunyama siyakundulula kangoko sandlala njengenyamakazi kantine nomuntu akutwaku kupholela amakhosa sikhala kube njini kantine kunamalungelo Sikubazenyengelezezele kwasangomi wakazulwa ngenxa yam iwala phakade ukuze simfihle kwelweba likaThixo yenze lonke kumkani awuthethe noThixo mveli adobe imvulu Thixo siyaphela lilangapha uyikukude ndibizelo langwethi lasemapholweni elathi siyanantsika izigwethi lapha emhlabeni makathobe imvulu Thixo ngalo mzuzu ate sehla amathambo akho izulu libe lisongoma sityebe kulo mhlaba ngumbona lentsimbi ithandwa nguwe niyazithanda iindaba azwelonke azwelonke azwelonke.
Azwelonke azwelonke
Azwelonke azwelonke azwelonke asiqamelanga kuyalotholelethuna babakena sasikhathayo lomlilo zozayo bebethixo yinililaka awuncede
Mike. Oh yeah.
Let us pray. King Zwelonke Mpendulo Sigao. He was a great soul, a wonderful example of gift, grit, and gumption. We believe that beyond the absence there is presence. Beyond the pain there is healing. Beyond the brokenness there is wholeness. Beyond the turmoil there is peace. Beyond the hurting there is heaven. Beyond the fighting there is forgiveness. Beyond the silence, God speaks. Amen.
And get point! Put the point! Go! Hey! Put the point! Detachment! Attention! Stop! Point! Put the point! Put the point! No, 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 no. Good! Please, and point! Put the point! Put the point! Oh.
And we continue speaking to especially the royal family members whom have come through to the funeral. We speak now to Princess Nombongo Matebese. Can you tell us, just in terms of today's proceedings, looking also at the fact that this is the first time post-democracy that we are burying a king as a nation, and just in terms of the send-off that you've seen today, do you think that it's befitting of the caliber in terms of the respect and dignity that we have for the king?
I think in this instance, government has gone beyond, doing it its best post-democracy to give the king a befitting send-off. I think all of us are in awe at the amount of honor that they have granted the king. Knowing him being the humble person that he was, I honestly don't even think if he were to imagine such an event, it would be an occasion of this caliber.
And then, Princess, just in terms of growing up as part of royalty as well, here in the Eastern Cape, what are some of the teachings that we can take, or some of the things that we should look out for as a nation going forward to ensure that we are sensitive and we respect these houses of royalty and the process thereof?
I think what has happened, just recently, is that royalties are not being taken seriously. People tend to idolize, celebrities and royalties that are outside of South Africa and forgetting their own, which is where, they come from, their customs, their core being. And I think a whole lot of things are going wrong because we have, done away with our customs, the ways that we are raised, and we have adopted more Western ways, which are actually not building the nation, but are destroying our young.
And then just in terms of, you speak there of the young and the education thereof that we need in terms of respecting our own royalties. What are maybe some of the teachings that the youth can look out for to identify, also in terms of culture and tradition, these royal houses, the chiefs, headmen, the kings and queens?
I think what needs to happen is that princesses in the royal households, they need to play a role in identifying ways to connect with the youth, because the princesses have grown up, in those traditions and in those customs, and they know exactly what needs to be done. And I think it's time for them to take a baton to be the ones that are taking the teachings of yesteryears to the youth today, because with only education can we get the nation back to what it used to be and have a respectful youth. You hear now of children beating up teachers at school. Yesteryears, that never happened. How did that come about? It's because we've lost our ways. We are adopting customs that we are not accustomed to, and we are not able to adapt. So that is why I'm saying that it's now the royal household are given a platform to play a role to educate the youth out there from the teachings that we have from where we come from.
Definitely, Princess. I think it's important what you're saying here in terms of the education processes that we need to know, educating ourselves, being sensitive to the issues that are happening around us as well. I think also earlier on we touched on, the importance of the relationship between government and AmaXhosa, especially also, not looking at the Eastern Cape, but throughout Africa. We've seen royal members of royalty families that have come through to pay their last respects here as well. So my question is, there is obviously communication and being united amongst the royal families. We also know that some of these kings, are then taught in other royal families how to carry themselves and how to interact and intertwine with those. What are some of the things that can possibly be done to strengthen that relationship between government and what we know as traditional royal families?
I think what needs to happen where it's actually failing is dialogue. Because once you start talking, once you have conversations, then processes start. Because royalties, if there is no platform where their royalties are able to share information, share ideas, and come up with an idea that can be made into policy by government, which will intertwine all the royal households across, even out to Africa. As you heard, I think the king had already started the journey of engaging with royalties out of South Africa. So I think we just need to find a platform where we are able to create a dialogue, come up with ideas that can be, turned into policy by government, and government can help us in implementing those to channel the networks of communication amongst the royals in terms of how we can bring about this education to the nation and the nations abroad.
Princess Madebese, thank you so much for your knowledge and time. Well, there we have it, Princess Madebese speaking to us in terms of the importance of continuing with these relations between government, the community, and also educating the youth in terms of the importance of traditional custom and practice, the importance of chiefs and as well as kings. But I'm going to hand over now to my colleague who's going to conduct another interview, Maneli Sitwas.
Thank you very much, Iviwe. As we are going towards the very last or the very end of this funeral service, and I am joined now myself by a member of the royal family, Nonyameko Makita. Nyami, thank you very much for coming here. Tell us now from here, how is the mourning process? How long is it going to still go on?
Family, we are expected to mourn for at least 12 months.
And during that process, what's going to happen? What can the people, the nation under King Zwelonke expect? And when is the next king going to be elected or anointed?
Unfortunately, since the passing of Ikumkani Yetu, since the elders have been briefing the media, we can continue to lead with unity, and I think the leaders in the Royal House will continue to update the media house as a I cannot say.
Nyami, once again, our greatest condolences and thank you very much for being here. That's the member of the royal family, Nonyameko Makita, just trying to find out perhaps if the Xhosa nation is going to still mourn. She says yes, they are still going to mourn for another year, and they will wait for the elders to actually elect or anoint the new king who will take over from King Zwelonke Sitau. But now let us wrap it up with Colonel again. Colonel, thank you very much. You have been with us for quite a long time. We see though that last military procedures. Tell us what happened there. We saw them giving the president the flag and, blowing some horns and all that kind of things. Just tell our viewers what was happening there in that final stages.
Okay. In the final stages, we were busy with the last post. The last post is when we blow the trumpet, which is saying that the hero has fallen. And then once all the soldiers were saluting by the time that the last post was commencing. And then immediately after that last post, there was a 2-minute silence, which is now to allow the spirit to depart, which is also a military custom. As I said to you before, we've got our own cultures. Then after that 2 minutes of silence, we now do what we call a reveal. A reveal is when we blow a trumpet now to welcome the hero amongst the other fallen heroes. And then when they were wrapping up the coffin, they had to undrape it again and then take the flag out. And then they gave a storm flag, which is a small flag already wrapped. The person who was taking the flag was the ceremonial sergeant major, who was here, Bailili. Then from him, it went to the chief marshal, which is now the marshal of the funeral. That was Colonel Nonchinga. Colonel Nonchinga now marched at a fast pace to General Yam. General Yam is representing General Shoke, which is the chief of the SANDF, and you can see there's hierarchy in this. He saluted General Yam and he gave him the flag. General Yam accepted the salute, took the flag and marched over to the now Chief Mauna, which is our commander-in-chief, which is the highest ranking in the military. And then the commander-in-chief now received the flag, saying that this funeral, the military, is done, sir. We've done what we came here to do. The hero, Unkosi, has been laid to rest. We, as a military, are retiring. Now we hand over to the cultural part, which is now the royal kings will start now to do their own final rituals. As you can see, that is done in private. Then we, as a military, we will now withdraw. we stand down. Thank you, sir.
Colonel Nokonyana, thank you very much. I must be a military expert from this funeral. That's how now we are coming to the end of it all. Unfortunately, we couldn't show you the last shot of the coffin as it was laid down to its final resting place, because culturally we're not allowed to do that. We can only take you as far as when they were laying it just on top of the gravesite.